What's going on, guys? I'm going to show you how I made $25,000 from sports betting in just 6 months. So, the first strategy that I used was EV betting. That stands for expected value betting. The whole idea behind that is to find discrepancies in the sports betting market. You have to determine what the no vig odds are. And then, if the line is better than what the no vig odds line is, then it's a profitable bet. So, for example, let's just say you're finding a bet at minus 110 on FanDuel. Okay. All across the board, the numbers are saying that the true odds should be like minus 130 with plus 105 on the under. So what you would do is you would take away that VIG. So you'd put into a no VIG calculator and you would determine that the no VIG odds should really be like, let's call it minus 117. Because that minus 110, you're getting better value by taking it at minus 110 than minus 117. And it's a profitable bet. The whole thing is that these odds are correlated with the probability of that specific site hitting. So what we're doing is we're finding lines that are priced incorrectly and finding, bets where our probability of hitting is a lot higher than the odds that we're getting at suggest. So here's a great example. I took Coco Gauff plus 6.5 at plus 100 on FanDuel. Where you could see, all the other books, no other book is offering plus money. None are even close to plus money. All of them are actually favoring Coco Gauff. Pinnacle, known as the sharpest book in the world. It's a European sports book. They take the lowest amount of VIG, so I like to kind of base a lot of bets off them. But they have Gauff at minus 122 and Swiatek at plus 105. Obviously, it shows here that the average odds were minus 108. We're grabbing it at plus 100. So obviously, there's tremendous value. But I based all of my calculations off of Pinnacle. So what I did was I found the no vig fair odds. So I took minus 122 and plus 105 to find out that my side of hitting was actually a 52.98% chance of winning. The no vig odds for that is minus 112.66. Obviously, the other side is going to be the exact same, but the inverse, because if there's no vig, then the house has no edge, so it should equal 0 pretty much. Listen, if I could win, if I have a 53% chance of winning a plus 100 every single time, I'm literally rich. That's the thing. Like, all we're doing is we're picking off stale lines, and beating that closing line. And if you're beating that closing line, then you're doing it right. Next, what I did was I put into the Kelly calculator just to determine what my EV is, and then it shows like the fraction of bankroll to wager, but that doesn't matter too much. Because every bet is profitable. So it doesn't really matter necessarily how much you put on every bet as long as it is a profitable bet. So I put in the odds that I could get it at, which is plus 100, with my win probability, which is 52.98%, which gave me an EV of 5.96%. That meant that my profit margin, if I were to place a $100 bet on it, I'd win $5.96 profit on every single time I wager that. The thing is, like, you think, oh, like a 5.96 ROI isn't crazy. The thing is, we're compounding that. And unlike the stock market, you get your money back every single day. So you get to deploy that same amount of money every single day. So a 3% ROI on a $1,000 bankroll. So if you wagered $1,000 a day and you had a 3% ROI, which is fine, but it's nothing special, that's 90% profit a month. That's $900 of profit a month just for putting out, $1,000 a day. And if you spread that over, 15 bets or so, it's really not that much. Another strategy that I like to use is arbitrage betting. This is literally free money. Okay. It's risk-free money. You physically cannot lose money on an arbitrage bet. Pretty much if the plus odds, you're taking just two sides of a bet. And if the plus odds number is greater than the minus odds, then there's an arbitrage opportunity. So take this Islanders Wild game. WinBet was giving me the over 5 at plus 120 and under 5 on Barstool at plus 128. Now, obviously, this is both plus odds, so this was like a really good find. But even if this was minus 120 and plus 128, it's still an ARB opportunity because the plus number is bigger than the minus number. So I use this calculator and I put $250 on the plus 120. So it told me that all I had to do was put 241 and 23 cents, and I guaranteed myself $58.77. Now you think, like, that's a weird number. Like, do I really want to put exactly? And the answer is no, not really. You kind of want to round it somewhere just so the sports books aren't like that suspicious on what you're doing. So for a play like this, I ended up putting 240 on the plus 128. I believe it went under. So that one hit. So I lost a few extra dollars, but I mean, a couple bucks, but like we're talking, I still locked up over $55 of risk-free money just by picking off these stale lines that the sports books are giving us. You know, every sports book is entitled to their own odds. So all I'm doing is I'm just kind of, playing their game. They set the lines, they think this is where it should be. I'm saying, no, you're wrong. I'm going to take advantage of this. And just by doing that, I locked up, $55 of profit, if not a little bit more. Another strategy that I like to use is taking advantage of the promos. People think, oh, the promos are, a cash grab, oh, they're rigged, all this and that. No, not really. Just the thing is, psychologically, you're like, okay, take a bet like this, which ended up winning, but, we'll act like it lost. You say Kentucky, UNC, Houston. You're thinking to yourself like, okay, there's no shot these lose. Kentucky has a 57% chance of winning, over 57%. UNC is close to 70, and Houston's close to 90. And you're thinking, no shot. But the thing is, for them all to win, for all of them to win that given day, there's only a 35.64% chance of winning. It's kind of crazy. So instead of just like looking at these promos for face value and being like, oh yeah, this looks good. Like, oh yeah, I'm getting 60 cents of value because this was boosted from plus 140 to plus 200. I ran the numbers on it. So I found the win probability, put it in decimal, put my stake, which was $50 because that's the max you can put on these promos, the odds I can get it at. And because my win probability was 35.64%, I was able to determine that this left me with a 6.92% edge and profit margin of $3.46, which meant that if I placed this bet over and over and over again, my average out would be $3.46 of profit every time I placed it. So these are really good to take advantage. And I'm going to try to go every day and go over the FanDuel boost or go over some like the DraftKings boost or any other ones and determine if they are any profitable bets. But this one, for example, was extremely profitable and ended up hitting, and it was great. So definitely look into those. I know people that just strictly promo bet, and they're up a ton of money. The last one's the low hold. Low hold's a little bit different because the whole purpose of the low hold is to help exhaust like those rollover bonuses that you might have on some of the offshore books, or sometimes if it's like a deposit bonus, but you have to play through it, 2 times, 3 times. There are bets where you essentially, it's not arbitrage, but you don't lose any money by taking both sides. So it's a good way to exhaust those, those rollover bonuses. The thing is, though, is when I look for bets on like the EV page, this is all on OddsJam, by the way. When I look for bets on the EV page, in order for a bet to be there, there needs to be 2 things. It needs to have a two-way market, which means it has to have like an over and under. So let's just say it's, let's go with someone anytime goal scorer. Often books won't offer the under; they'll only give you the over. So the low hold, so it won't like that play won't show up on the EV page, even if it is positive EV. It will show up on the low hold page though. Same thing. The other requirement that it needs to have to be on the EV page is it needs to have enough books to justify it being a profitable bet. The thing is, though, is you can look at a bet like this, right? The Alpine Sangoon bet, and you can really spot where the discrepancy is. DraftKings, I trust the most in terms of like, and in my opinion, the best US sportsbook, especially when it comes to player props. They had the over at plus 120. Caesars had the over at plus 114. And FanDuel had the under at minus 113, where both of those had it at like in the minus 150s. So I look at this, I go, yes, I don't have a lot of data points. I don't know where everyone else is at, but I felt really comfortable taking this at the under at 113. The closing line ended up at about minus 150. So that was a very profitable bet. Now, what you could have done with this is you could have treated it as a low hold. You could have taken DraftKings at plus 120, FanDuel at minus 113. Yes, it is a slight arbitrage. You do make a few bucks, but for something like that, the whole purpose of like the low hold page, another strategy with it is to just increase your total wagered by risk-free pretty much. This will lead to more credits, more bonuses, free bets, rewards, all of it, and you're not losing any money. But I also like to look at the low hold page to find good value bets that may not pop up anywhere else because there aren't enough data points to justify it. That's pretty much all my strategies. Like I said, I've been doing it for about 6 months now. A lot of trial and error, really figuring out like what the best strategies are. And this is kind of what I've noticed. Also, what I suggest when it comes to the low hold page is this is really good at night. When a lot of the other books like MGM, whatever it is, haven't released their lines yet, and only Caesars, DraftKings, and FanDuel have. This is a really good place to pick out like those stale lines right off the bat, or just the ones that were priced incorrectly. So, just to kind of summarize everything, the three strategies that I use to be a profitable sports bettor is positive EV betting, arbitrage betting, and low hold betting. That's been working really well for me, and I'm excited to keep it going. Well, anyways, guys, I appreciate it. Obviously, if you have any suggestions, comments, anything, make sure to write it down below. I'd be more than happy to take that into account next time I'm making these videos. I'm going to try to be making these at least once a day or so. So look forward to it. All right, guys. See ya.